this, and I mean, we all go through all kinds of things, and I'm not laying at some sort of new age guilt trip, like, well, we shouldn't have any kind of health problem, because, all the stuff that a mind that still needs to know why. The mind that still entertains a question of why it just has to know. It has to place cause and effect. That was the whole book, Power versus Force. You must transcend cause and effect. As you transcend the levels of consciousness, cause and effect goes, boom. Makes no sense at all. You start thinking, well, how far back do I got to go? The Big Bang? And then you realize the Big Bang is this moment and nothing but this moment. Always, ever, now. You hear what I'm saying? You can't go anywhere to look for cause and effect, but right here. So, and I'm not talking about an ego all of a sudden kind of getting a glimpse of this and going, oh, I'm God. I'm the creator. The sun shines indiscriminately. This is the key. An ego claiming it is God does not. An ego claiming that it's God thinks it knows what the world needs now. The sun just shines. Nothing left but shining. Without a why, without a cause, without an effect, without a reason, without meaning, without an interior world to fuel it. The original love in its purity, arising from and as and through infinite, the truth of that word, potential. Infinite potential has no why. It can't afford, it's not possible, and so it's kind of crazy to even entertain it, but it would be like water sort of moping around going, why do I have to be so wet? I mean, if there were self-consciousness to God, to the creator, it's like, it's not a thing. It is as it is. Consciousness is inherent to human beingness. And the reason, that's a funny word to say, but one way we resonate deeply with what we call nature, that we think is outside of ourselves, behaving in a different way than ourselves. Well, it is behaving in a different way than ourselves because human beingness has taken on self-consciousness. And a tree hasn't. But there's no difference. There's no difference. There's no difference in the nature. Life is life. All things are life. All apparent things. So we look out there and we go, oh, I'm going to go for a walk in the forest. We may as well say I'm going to go for a walk in unself-consciousness. That's no self. So it's a hard sell, but maybe if the intellect can grasp it that way. Unself-conscious. So like the trees, the red rose don't have to sit and contemplate over a lifetime. I'm not laughing at any of you, I'm laughing at me. Contemplate over a lifetime, how must I be authentic? How can I be authentic? What's the authenticity here? It's preposterous. We've all bought into it. If I lose myself, well, by God, that's my story. And, I worked hard for that story. And it defines me, and it's my thing. And I rose up, and I did, and yes. But that's like the rose deciding, I bloomed, baby, like I did it. Me. Now where's my yummy reward? And how much better am I? Or how much worse? There's a view, a way beyond all that, and it unfolds quite naturally of its own accord, mysteriously. And there's very little to say about it, and yet we're trying, because that's one beauty of human beingness, is a languaging capacity in this way. I mean, all the other expressions of life are communicating their way as well. But simple, simplicity, naked, unadorned, unmediated, unconditioned, no distinctions, no qualifications, is as it is. So if we do, and we will, and we are, because none of us are walking on water yet, as of yet that I know of, have difficulties, challenges, health, the rewiring project of, trying, assimilating, integrating, reformatting in order to be as what we are divinely born to be, the whole thing. It doesn't negate an understanding at whatever unfolding one is at, whatever level of understanding one is at. It's the cosmic corkscrew, the levels of consciousness, the same dawning can happen, and then a few years later, ooh, same dawning, but whoa, okay, I get that on a majorly deeper level, it's okay. Whatever sense of this we have at this point can be brought to bear upon the difficulties, the challenges, and we can begin to relate to them and realize them in a different way, like, this is an appearance, and I know it's an appearance, but it's a strong appearance. God, give me eyes to see. God, give me ears to hear. What's next? Be quiet, be still, listen attentively, and you can know that it's an appearance and not fundamental, essential reality, and still work with it, or whatever words you want to say. At the same time, they don't cancel each other out. Only the mind thinks that they cancel each other out. You know, I remember Sharon one time, I was having this dramatic blowout of my cranial nerves on the left side of my head and trigeminal nerve neuralgia and just pain that was unnavigable, and really I was thinking, nope, not going to live through that. That's too far. Too far. Too far. I can't do it. Just too much. Just too much. But at the same time, I had many conditions around what I would do and what I wouldn't do around it. And I'm not a pain med person and blah, 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 you know, whatever. Whatever. It's innocent. You know, God bless Jennifer and her nursing history and all that stuff. And Sharon said to me, hey, you know that God comes in a Tylenol too, right? Changed everything. I was like, it was like, oh my God, you know? That became such an incredible contemplation over the next few years. Such an incredible contemplation. Only the conditioned self has a problem with, not a problem, let's put it this way, has a division between absolute and relative reality. And as you continue down the road, that division, just like all the other gaps, close. It just closes. And the moment is as the moment is, and you don't know why, and you don't know who, and you don't know what, but there is a, I'm going to say it, responsive immediacy that informs. And that responsive immediacy is life itself. Life. Life. The heart of being. So there's no right or wrong. There's no failing. All of that has to go. All of it can go, because how do we know if it was useful or not useful, or moved in the direction, let's see, if the light was actually unimpeded, if the mind is an avenue of awareness, clear awareness rather than a former of belief, well, the next moment gives us the answer to any inquiry like that that we would possibly need. We don't have to run it through the personhood of should have, would have, could have. Don't need it. Doesn't matter. I think that was why it was so useful for Ajahn to always have that question, you know, in the middle of inquiry, where he'd be like, how is it working for you? Very simple question. Doesn't sound like the enlightened Adyashantis, you know. How is it working for you? And the freedom, this is the key of liberation. There's freedom in the next moment as the next moment. It's not bound by the historical referencing. It's not bound. It's not bound by it. You can be a vegetarian one day and I'm drinking blood the next. Whose image does it threaten? Nobody's, because there's nobody there. Which can seem really weird at first. Very weird. You know, but what am I exactly? And who am I? And don't I stand for something? And liberation is wild in the sense of untamed, unfettered, undomesticated, unself-conscious. And in that sense, you know when you're around somebody like that, because they just are who they are. I mean, and you kind of groove on it, don't you? I mean, when you're around somebody like that, it's like, oh man, even if they don't fit with your preferences and all of that, that remain, your preferences remain. This is another myth. And I've said it many times, but I just repeat the same things and it's fine. But it's the Aja saying, no, I still have a favorite ice cream. Like, I'm not going into the ice cream shop going, hey man, I'm enlightened. Just throw anything on a cone. No, he likes chocolate. That's what he likes. So the preferences remain, but they're not believed as like essential to the image, essential to the me, man. This is what I do. This is how I am. There were years. I was a yogi. My sister is an advanced, masterful yoga teacher. I was a yogi. I couldn't touch asana with a 10-foot pole. I would touch asana and the pain and agony in the nervous system was like, how's it working for you? A lot of stuff has to go. I mean, that's a mundane example, but on deeper levels, I'm a healer. I'm a hospice nurse. I'm a mom. Toughest one. Toughest one.